All right, Gina, thank you. So new this morning, right now, President Trump considering declaring a national emergency, invoking the Stafford Act. This would empower FEMA to help local and state governments during natural catastrophes.
Meanwhile, the virus, as we know, is changing everyday life right here in the United States. But here's some good perspective. More than half of those diagnosed patients across the globe have now recovered.
Yeah, that is good news. Here in Arizona, we're seeing 9 cases, just 9 cases of coronavirus. We get updates from health officials every morning at 9 a.m. And yesterday there were no new cases, so that's great. In fact, we learned that there were dozens of negative coronavirus tests yesterday. Still big events, though, being canceled all across the valley, across the state and the country, and now businesses are bracing for the economic impact. The virus now impacting schools, of course. Some shutting down,
yes,
right?
Students at 5 Valley Elementary School Districts will not be back to class on Monday. One of them is Alhambra Elementary.
Yeah, that's where Ernie is right now to talk with parents to find out what they plan to do, what their expectations are, what are the schools telling them. Good morning, Ernie.
Good morning. Yeah, the school district is currently on spring break, so they'll probably start getting those questions and stuff from parents toward the end of the week or toward early next week. But like you mentioned, the list of schools closing due to the coronavirus kind of continues to grow, which is why we headed here to Alhambra Elementary School District. We have Linda Jeffries here. Good morning.
Good morning.
First, tell us, how did the district make this determination to close the schools?
So the Alhambra Elementary School District has been monitoring the situation very closely. And as we continued to see what was happening both on a statewide basis and on a national basis with the major sports leagues suspending their games, our statewide universities canceling classes, we decided to take a close look at this. We have 12,000 students in our schools as well as 2,000 employees. So when we talk about areas where there's mass congregations, we have that mass congregation in our schools. So our superintendent decided to be proactive and close all of our schools, which is 14 schools in our district, starting Monday the 16th. We will be closed for approximately a week, and then we're going to reassess this after the week and see if we will continue our closures.
So a week out of school, everyone kind of impacted at this point, staff and students?
Yes, so all schools will be closed, so that means all students will remain at home for at least the next week. And also we've asked our staff to remain at home. We are working with the leadership team today to put together a plan, and we will bring staff on board as needed, but those things are still being determined. And so for our staff who might be concerned, should I come to work or not, they will be notified by their direct supervisors this weekend.
How are you alerting the parents, because the kids are on school break this week, that on Monday there's no class?
Absolutely. We're certainly keeping our parents and our employees updated on a daily basis and sometimes twice a day. And so we ask for our parents to be close to their phones. We're sending out telephone notification calls and emails, text messages. And so we want them just to be aware. Also, we're putting information out on our district and school websites and our social media venues. And so parents will certainly be in the know if they look at any one of those resources.
Now, another major concern for people in the community, we know that a lot of kids depend on the school, the free breakfast, the free lunch. What will be in place, if anything, to help these kids during this week, I guess, of closure?
So we are currently working on a plan. We know that having breakfast and lunch for our students is essential in our community, and so we are working on a plan to have food distribution hubs throughout our school district. We will notify parents of where those hubs are through our mass notification system, and that the food will be available starting on Monday.
Anything else you feel is important for parents to know just during this process?
We certainly don't want to alarm our parents. We do not have a case of the coronavirus, either with students or staff. We are doing this merely as a proactive measure. And so we want our parents to know that our students and our staff health and well-being is our priority, and we want them to know that we're taking proactive measures. So as we're on this break next week, we will be going and we will be disinfecting all of our schools, all of the hard surfaces that kids and teachers would normally touch. One other thing I'd like to say,
Yep.
Tuesday is election day, and so some of our schools are polling sites. So I want to reassure our community that we are still opening up our schools for the community to come and vote in person.
Okay. Will these days actually have to be made up? I know some people would be concerned about that.
We are currently working with the State Department of Education in determining what that might look like if we have to make those days up. When we have that information available, we will certainly let our parents know what our plan is for possibly making up these days.
Thank you so much, Linda.
Thank
And you can
you.
find more updates. Just visit the Alhambra Elementary School District website for those updates on this week of closure, where you can get those free lunches, free meals, and also when school will be back in session. And I'll send it back to you guys in the studio.
Good information.